Hi there. Back again, ready to do another video, my friends. I'll just wait a couple of minutes, let everybody get in here, and I'm going to see if I can share this. If it wants to come up. I got a big lineup today, and as usual, it's probably not what you want to hear, but what you need to know. That's my thing. It is. Yeah, because the thing is, let's see if I can, oh, it's not going to let me, is it? That's too bad. Hi, got one in there. Say hello, would ya? I'd appreciate that. And you know what? We're probably going to have some buffering problems again. But just to let you know, my channel on YouTube is going again, and I'm placing these videos over there. I will put the links in the descriptor as soon as I'm ready to go. And today we're taking on DOGE. Not so much DOGE, Elon Musk's government department, but I'm going to explain what it all means. Yeah. In any case, I'm just going to wait, try to get a few more people. Unfortunately, it is not going to allow me to share this. Yes, shutting me down yet again. Yeah, big lineup, guys. Again, not what you want to hear, what you need to know, because this is bigger than just the United States, right? Yeah. Hi, Michelle. How you doing? Okay. Starting to get some people in here. Yesterday, hi Lee. Okay, I'm just going to start right now because you know what? Oh, I didn't even fix it so you could rewind, but that's okay. If you have problems with the buffering, just wait until the end, and normally on Facebook after, it's perfectly clear. If not, go to my YouTube channel. Hi Amy, how you doing? All right, guys, I'm going to start moving along here. Now, yesterday, that was a big day in the Oval Office, right? Yeah. Elon Musk, of course, the footage was all over the place. MSM picked it up. Alternative media picked it up. And what was quite common across the board, didn't matter who was reporting on it, well, all they did report on was the cute kid, X-Ash A12. Yes, that's his name. Young Musk's little protege, his son. Except what happened in that Oval Office and what was said was rather important. Yes, it was. But the media, in its entirety, and I don't care, again, influencers, media, alternative media, they all missed it. And what was said was quite telling for the future. Again, the child was the focus, him mimicking his dad. And in PR, this is what they call optics, right? Yes, they do, because that was a PR stunt. And it was designed to announce to the American public what was going down with DOGE, but have the kid overshadow it all so that no one would report on what was said and the significance of it. But I'm going to do that now. Again, it's not going to be what you want to hear. It's what you need to know. Hi, Wally. How you doing? Hi, Joyce. All right. Well, I think we're getting ready to roll here. As I said, if you're having problems with buffering, because that's how they like to tune me out, just wait till a little later. It'll be up on Facebook and, of course, on my YouTube channel. And I'll put all the links. So for the people joining, Elon Musk in the Oval Office with Trump yesterday, putting on quite a show. The media, MSM, influencers, alternative media, all focusing on the child and the little stunt. And what nobody was really listening to was what was going on. So I'm going to tell you what he had to say. And this is pretty much the gist of it. Okay. What is the goal? The goal of DOGE is to restore democracy. If you don't have a feedback loop from the people to the government and the bureaucracy is in charge, then what is the meaning? Then what meaning does democracy have? If the people cannot vote and have the will be decided by the president and their elected representatives in the Senate or the House, then we do not live in a democracy but a bureaucracy. It's incredibly important that we close that feedback loop and fix it. And the public and their elected representatives decide what happens instead of a large unelected bureaucracy. There are good people in the bureaucracy, but you can't have an autonomous federal bureaucracy. You have to have one that is responsive to the people. Now, that's music to a lot of people's ears. Yeah, it is. Except what they're not quite getting is that this is the introduction of AI governance. Yes, it is. See, the show of DOGE is, well, it's a show. They are slicing and dicing government expenditures. Yes, they are. But a lot of people, over the years, we've been socialized to hate bureaucracy, right? But bureaucracy is actually a very important element of democracy. It is. In fact, it's integral. It is. Because the bureaucracy exists, it doesn't matter what party is elected, right? Okay. I'm going to tell you how bureaucracy is integral to democracy. And where we're going with this talk today is how they are going to solve it and where it's coming from. Okay, so just hang tight here. Bureaucracy is integral to democracy as it translates the will of the people into practical legislation and facilitates services from the government to the public. According to progressive views, bureaucracy allows the public will to be effective, overcoming the inefficiencies of the constitutional law-making process and enabling bureaucrats to create and adjust rules efficiently using scientific expertise and expert discretion to serve the public interest. In a democratic system, the government is accountable to its citizens who have the right and power to elect their leaders. Bureaucracies, which are necessary but not sufficient for democracy, provide a structured system of administration governed by defined rules and hierarchical authority. This ensures accountability and the efficient execution of policies and laws passed by democratic governments. However, bureaucracy can introduce or exacerbate problems in democratic governance, such as the issue of minority factions. Now, that's what we've seen, right, over the last few years, especially in the whole DEI, okay? So this is what people are upset about more than anything. Bureaucratic decision-making can sometimes reflect the interests of a subset of the public, politicians, or private groups, rather than the general will of the people. So the bureaucracy has been contaminated. So Elon Musk isn't wrong about that. What's happened is factions, minority factions, interest groups, they have hijacked the bureaucracy, right? They have. And therefore, these policies are pushing through. Now, let's remember that these DEI policies largely stemmed from, what people think is Agenda 2030. But in fact, that's kind of the cover, because where we're going right now is straight into Agenda 2030. And I know people think Trump has departed from it, but I'm going to show you how he's not, okay? So yesterday, or 2 days ago, the World Government Summit began in Dubai. It's been going since 2012-13. Okay, it's held there every single year. And in fact, last year, I've been calling it out for a few years, calling it the World Government Summit. Well, they rebranded and they called it the World Governments Summit. But just know, this is all about a one world government. This is about the creation of it, right? Now, all of those partners that Trump has chosen for Project Stargate, like Sam Altman of OpenAI, Larry Ellison, right? Oracle, and of course MGX, which is a spin-off of the Sovereign Wealth Fund of the UAE. They're all partners in Project Stargate, right? Well, they're all there at the World Government Summit right now. So while all that was going down in the office, they were talking about basically zero democracy. That's exactly what Trump was talking about. And what's going on at this conference right now is, well, part of one of the forums at the conference is zero democracy. So I'm going to read a little bit. I've done a pretty extensive write-up, many posts this morning on my private Telegram channel. I'd really love your support, guys. I barely have any subscribers, but I'm downloading so much information that you need to know. There is a subscription cost because I have to support myself. So, yeah, still love to see you there. If you're interested, let me know. But in any case, this event in Dubai never travels. It's always there, okay? So a lot of conferences travel and go and move around. And in fact, all of the players, the global players are there, the important ones. Again, I have a lot of footage, and I'm going to do a little write-up for this Facebook page as well. But let's talk about it. The absolute vision of this summit is global governance. As we integrate AI governance piece by piece, we will be integrating as one. So the idea right now is to integrate AI governance throughout the world, okay? But I'm going to teach you about where it's come from. At this conference, there are a number, there's 21 forums, and I'm going to read them off to you. The Arab Fiscal Forum, the Young Arab Leaders Forum, Future of Mobility Forum, Artificial Intelligence, Government Services Forum, Future of Education, Government Experience Exchange Forum, Future of Work, Emerging Economies Forum. One of them is SDGs in Action, Sustainable Development Goals in Action, Arab Public Administration Forum, Zero Government Bureaucracy Forum. Now, if you listen to what was going on in that Oval Office yesterday, it was all about zero government bureaucracy. In fact, Elon Musk said just that. So, we have to understand, and now I'm going to explain all this to you. I'm going to go through the rest of the list. Collaborative Models for Development Forum, Future of Economy, Geotechnology and Policy, Global Health, Climate Change, Gender Balance, not gender equality, gender balance. See, in Islam, there is no gender equality. It's men and women have distinctive roles. And in Islam, it is a balance. Yes. Okay, so let's just understand that. Again, this is where we are going, okay? As a globe. See, all bets are off the table these days, guys. We need to understand that. And unfortunately, we are being entirely distracted. Future of Government Communication Forum, Global Government Regulations Forum. Now, what I noticed right off the hop with the the World Government Summit was the Zero Government Bureaucracy Forum. And of course, that aligned with what Elon Musk was talking about in that Oval Office. It sounds like a lot like DOGE, because it is. In the UAE, now what we have to understand is the first places, and actually the first state to introduce AI governance in its entirety will be Abu Dhabi by 2027. Okay, they've already come out and said that. The thing is, what's happening right now is our democracies are being dismantled. See, what DOGE is doing is going in and gutting the systems that have governed. And what's going to emerge from that is AI governance. And the systems are all being developed in the UAE. Now, let's understand this. In the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, there is no government bureaucracy. They are authoritarian monarchies, right? So bureaucracy doesn't exist because bureaucracy gets in the way of totalitarian dictators. Let's understand that. It's important because what Elon Musk is suggesting, more than suggesting, is implementing right now. And it's going to take over more and more and more, is AI governance. And it was designed, predicated in the authoritarian monarchy of the UAE. Okay? Like there is no public collaboration. So how they're selling it to their people, you see, because in every society, there is always a push for democracy. So how the authoritarian dictators of Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Qatar are selling this AI governance to the people is that they will be included in decision making. Have you ever seen a dictator give up power? No. And this is how you know it's subterfuge, right? But they're saying everything people want to hear, and the people rave. But at the end of the day, what we are veering into right now is, well, a system similar and eventually global with the authoritarian monarchs at the helm. That's pretty scary. Everyone is so excited to see bureaucracy dismantled, but it's within that matrix that the checks and balances of democracy live. The reason that dictatorships and authoritarian regimes are so popular is because there's no pushback. Power is extended from the top down. And the way the dictators are presenting it, AI governance, is it's going to come from the bottom up. No. We have to understand that. Kind of scary, guys. Again, I know Trump is telling everybody what they want to hear. But at the end of the day, we have to look at where these systems are being developed and designed. And who is at the helm of AI governance? Well, that's UAE, in cooperation with the UN. They're the ones coming up with this entire system. I really urge you to go and take a look at the World Government Summit. Governments, as they've rebranded, because they didn't want to look like it was going for global governance. But when you go through their program, what you will see is absolutely the weaving in of global governance, because this is exactly what it is. And it's bound into the SDGs of UN Agenda 2030. It is absolutely compatible. Of course, Klaus Schwab of the WEF, he was speaking there yesterday. Everybody's there. See, what they've done for the last few years is push that government corruption, the MSM, the alternative media. I mean, it's horrifying to see that much corruption. But what they're doing is they're literally throwing it in our face so that we are upset about it, in order to dismantle democracy. Now, I'm not saying, I am not for a minute, that bureaucracy cannot be improved. But it is an essential element. It is of a democracy. So what is happening now is Elon Musk, just like he's rebranding free speech, him and Trump are going to be redefining democracy. And I can guarantee you it's not going to be a definition that anyone who believes in freedom is on board with. AI governance. This is, it's flying over the heads of so many people. And when I saw that child, what the hell is his name again? I mean, I feel sorry for Elon Musk's kid, really, with this name. XAsh-A12. You have to figure out the Roman numerals to be able to put it together. That's how difficult it is. Being placed in that office in order to distract from what he was saying yesterday. I urge you, if you've got footage of what was said yesterday, go back to it. Or come to my Telegram channel and you can see it for yourself. Nobody covered what he was saying, and it was so important. And again, at the very same time at the World Government Summit, they are talking exactly the same lingo. Zero bureaucracy government. That's AI governance. Crazy. Thank you, Jumbo Jim. I study a lot. And I find it horrifying that, again, you know what? I do this full time. Most people, they're working, they're running around, they have children, they have busy lives. They don't have time to keep up with this stuff. But you pretty much have to be on it full time to actually see. But I'm coming from a different angle than most people because I know global governance is underway. So that's where I beeline. And again, with that focus, it's helped me overcome the subterfuge that even the alternative media, knowingly or unknowingly, but at the end of the day, if you've ever read the COVID Action Platform, when that came out by the WEF, just before COVID hit and we were all locked down, all the media is partners in the agenda. Okay, everybody's satisfying an angle. We have to keep our eye on the ball. And again, I know it's almost impossible to keep up with all of the antics. And then, then there's Trump in the Middle East. On top of that, talking Ukraine, he's everywhere, like Elon Musk is. I mean, superhuman, both of them, especially Elon, right? I mean, how can you run 3 corporations and, be part of beheading a government department? Now, the other thing about Elon, and I got to say this, because at the end of the day, the lefties aren't wrong on this. There's confirmation hearings in the United States for a reason. This upholds democracy, okay? It ensures accountability to the House and to the Senate, right? Well, Elon has skirted that whole process. I mean, if they're going to skirt the whole process, why has RFK gone through it? Why has Tulsi Gabbard gone through it? Why have all of these people that have been furnished with being secretaries of their respective divisions, why have they gone through it, but Elon gets a free pass to just come in and gut? We have to remember what we're fighting for. We're fighting for democracy, but they're actively dismantling it. And this isn't going to be limited to the States. I mean, I'm quite amazed to see as many Canadians. And again, we hate corruption. We don't want corruption. But do you think AI governance run by billionaires is going to be corruption-free? Really? Because right now, as we speak, Elon Musk is refashioning free speech. Guess who is his partners in this? Saudi Arabia, Kingdom Holdings, second largest shareholder. He couldn't have bought X without it, which was formerly Twitter. And in fact, Kingdom Holdings was a shareholder in Twitter. So when they were shutting down the right and and basically beheading the right and calling them far right, Kingdom Holdings was in there as the largest shareholder. Then Elon buys, purchases it, and they come in as the second largest shareholder. And now excommunicating the left. Isn't that interesting? You see, the Arabs, they play all sides, right? And, well, playing all sides, that just goes nowhere. Straight up. We have to be cognitive of what is happening. We are integrating with a part of the world that, again, is run by authoritarian monarchs. I would be in jail I would. Interestingly enough, though, Saudi Arabia, because, people like me, and then there's quite a few people out there talking about the woman who was jailed for 35 years because of a tweet. They released her, I think yesterday. Yes. Because of international pressure. But in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, doesn't matter. You can't say what you want. And even the expats that go to live there, because that's the majority of the population in the UAE, right? It is. But they have very stringent rules to follow living there. Those people are there for the money because there's lots of it. And people are willing to compromise their democratic values to be there. They are. Authoritarian dictatorships run quite smoothly generally, right? In Dubai, for example, you can walk in your bare socks right on the street. It's so clean. You get a fine if your car is dirty. You cannot have a hotel with your lover. No. Boyfriend, even fiance, you have to be married. Yeah. Even living in a house, you can't do it in none of those places. No public drunkenness. Okay, so you can see the society is very, very upright. Public modesty is key. And public modesty in all communications. In fact, what I'm talking about Elon Musk and Trump today, again, yeah, they don't like that. You would lose your social media accounts. You'd go to jail. You would. Because also, coupled with that, their rules. In Islam, you are not, they call it backbiting. You're not allowed to criticize anyone publicly. It's against the rules. And in our version of free speech, we're allowed to confront tyranny, right? We're allowed to confront issues publicly, but not there. We are being woven into the culture of Islam. Now remember, Islam's going to be 30% of the world population by 2030. Okay, and it's growing by leaps and bounds. And through AI governance, as it is installed in our respective nations, okay, it's step by step by step. They're not going to go boom, right? It's going to be a fine tuning. So as that happens, we're going to be coming more into line with how they communicate. In Islam, again, less is more. You stick to the point in your communications. The Arabic language also, has minimal characters compared to our language. But this is part of the ideology of Islam. We're not talking religion here. We're talking the ideology. There are very strict parameters for public behavior. We don't have those. So this is what we have to understand. And again, at the World Government Summit, they are talking the same lingo that was going on in the Oval Office yesterday. That's why it's so important to correct one's political status. This brings you back to natural law and the statutes and codes. Interesting, yes. I can barely get on this account anymore. They allow me to log in about once every 4 days. Today is the day. Well, I'm glad to see you. I have to use my other account. Yeah. Well, Zuckerberg, Trump says there will be no more U.S. censorship. Well, I can't tell you how many U.S. people are on my feed that are now getting the peer review dealio, the same as X. So you can see that X and Meta, okay, are now consolidating in policies. They are. Because we're going to see a global consolidation. We are. It's hard to hear because so many believe that Trump is going to restore democracy, but in fact, they're rebranding it, they're refashioning it to match the UAE. We're coming into line into global governance. And these systems are being set up and tested, beta tested in the UAE. And Trump has chosen his partners for Project Stargate. Again, Sam Altman, OpenAI, Larry Ellison of Oracle are all speaking at the World Government Summit. I think Elon is too, actually. Yeah. But all of those optics yesterday of that child, of Elon's, and even the article said, he stole the show. Yeah, of course that was the idea of him being there. To steal the show so nobody would hear. Really got to go back. Aw, thank you, Purple. I did, Purple. Chakras. How about Mark Carney? Well, I don't know if he's there. I did look it up this morning, but they weren't giving out any information on that, but I imagine he is. Yeah. They're all in on it. Now, here's something that occurred to me the other day, and I thought it was really funny because, there was a lot of controversy in the States about RFK being confirmed, right? And the fact that he flipped from the Democrats and the Republicans maybe not trusting him so much. And then you had Tulsi Gabbard, same thing, supposedly flipped, right? It occurred to me. We know that Agenda 2030 is nonpartisan. It's a bipartisan effort in the United States. It's nonpartisan in Canada, meaning they're all in on it. And I don't think that they actually flipped those two. I think that they have joined the Republicans and are taking offices that reflect their commitment to UN Agenda 2030. Because that is, and global governance, because this is where it's going. A lot of people will think that Mark Carney is the great one. And he does have a lot of experience in terms of finance. He does, being the governor of the Bank of Canada and the governor of the Bank of England. Okay, he does. But he was also the UN envoy for climate change. Yeah, he's been their ambassador. Totally worked in with the WEF. And again, the WEF has no accountability, but they do have a collaborative agreement with the United Nations in the pursuit of the Sustainable Development Goals and fulfillment of Agenda 2030. Now remember, UAE, Saudi Arabia, well, they all have a vision. The Vision 2030 is their thing, and we're the agenda. Just so we're clear here. They're the visionaries. See, everybody wants to make this a Jewish thing, the Jewish power, and that is a result of amazing propaganda. But no. That's not the way it is. And in fact, they're in on it too. Yes, they are, but they're not heading the show here. We're not heading into Judaism. Isn't an ideology. Islam is an ideology. And the other thing is that they keep throwing China in our face, right? The national security risk. Okay, one thing you have to know about China and communism is that they have a very large bureaucracy. Yes, they do. It may be totalitarian in nature, but at the end of the day, they have a huge bureaucracy to balance. It's a big part of communism. They're talking zero bureaucracy. And again, that's going to be music to so many people's ears, not understanding the true meaning of it. And that is AI governance. You can't argue with a machine. You can't. You can't argue with AI. And let's remember that all of these technocrats, including Elon Musk, I just downloaded a film of his the other day saying, well, the AI might take over. So they're already setting the table to taking absolutely no accountability. If you think that there's no accountability now, wait until there's AI governance. We have to be clear here. The programming is very good, the redirection of our lives, absolutely. And it's coming in from every direction. It truly is impossible for the common folk to keep up. Again, I'm on this 14 hours a day, straight up. I don't do anything else but this. I don't. And I have to. Because if I took a day off, half a day off on Sunday, and I kind of, for half a day, you're like, oh, shoot, where am I? And I can't find where I left off kind of thing. So it requires continual going through a whole lot of material. Again, I know people are frustrated with our bureaucracy. They've been setting us up for this for a long, long time. But here's the other thing about the states. You know, they appointed a woman, and I can't remember who that was. Joyce, you could probably write that down. They're going to, declassify a whole bunch of files on Jeffrey Epstein and the whole gang. And I thought, do you really think they're going to do that? Okay, because the billionaire playing field hasn't changed. They're in charge, and they're guiding us in the belief that Elon is like one of us. He's not. He's not. It's pretty sad, guys. But we have to separate we have to use our discernment more now than ever. Nothing is face value. Nothing. It's kind of sad. But I will do a bit of a write-up. I'm actually halfway through doing a write-up for sort of synopsizing what I've done here in this video. Within a little more detail and with a whole bunch of visual aids, so you guys can check that out. I should have that up by tonight, and it'll give you a little chance to browse through the information and, check me. We have to. We've definitely got to we've got to keep our eye on the ball. And it's getting more and more difficult to know who to trust. Truly it is. Again, I cite all my references, and, I spend a lot of time just watching the footage to figure out what's going on. And luckily, I have a marketing background. So I can tell a marketing stunt a mile away. Just like I could tell Black Lives Matters, all those protests across the U.S. and Canada, that was a marketing rollout. That was not a organic movement. There was nothing organic about it. Nothing. We have to... The acting behind the scenes is beyond it. It truly is. Now I want to make sure I've not missed any comments. Yeah, Pila, I don't see you much anymore. That's the truth. That's pretty sad. These platforms are censored. And you know what's funny about Telegram, the uncensored platform? The UAE is actually an investor there, just so you guys know. And there, all the video I did last night I went crazy, posting a lot from the World Government Summit. And every one of them, the videos I put up, I had to post the video and then go back into the editing feature and then add my words. Because if I put them together, it won't post the video. So yes, there's censorship there. In my little private channel with 17 subscribers, this is how crazy this is. So yes, there is censorship. Here, I'm happy to see that I got quite a few people here today. That's really nice. And I'm also doing a bit over on Black Sheep Truth Media. I'm doing some lives with Carl because the discussion really does help. Make people understand rather than being chatted at. They become part of the conversation, and that's important. In any case, guys, please go back, watch the footage of Elon Musk in that Oval Office and look for my full article. And that should be up tonight. And I will also have this video over on YouTube. And if you want to subscribe to my Telegram channel, I would really appreciate it. And again, I started it to add value because, well, I got tired of begging for donations. But this is my living. This is what I do. And yeah, I'm behind on rent again, so I could use a little leg up for sure. And I'll be back again in a couple of days. There's just no shortage of material these days, as you know. So thank you very much for being with me today, and look for my material. And I will have the full article of what I've discussed up later on. Thanks a lot, you guys. Have a great day.